Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're dealing with another seasonal championship. This one is called Hyper Italia, and we're going to be in Italian hypercars in S1 class. So yeah, and we're getting there in the Bath 124 Spider, which has been newly added to the game by the Festival Playlist. And yeah, doing this championship will give you a quarter of the points that you need for this. So you need 20 points, and these championships give you 5 points overall. So yeah, well worth doing. They can be fun to drive, but also obviously they give you a chunk of points
in 400 yards, turn sharp left
towards getting you a brand new vehicle added to the game. Obviously this car is not brand new to the Forza series overall. I remember reviewing this in Forza Motorsport 7 in fact, so yeah, it's nothing new, but it's nice to have it in the game. And in a game that has, you know, plenty of sunshine and the like, it's nice to have a sports car with no roof. So let's see where we're going to be racing and what we're going to be racing in. So yeah, we're near the stadium for one, to the east for another, and up near the mountains for the third. So let's see where we're going to be getting in. So we've got the Italia Design 01. Italia Design also had a second car added to the game via via a car pack, via the Italian Automotive update. So we might well try that one out. Then we've got the Lamborghini SC20, which was also added via the car pack that the other Italia Design was added in. Then we've got the likes of the Cyan Roadster, the Centenario, the Aventador SVJ, the Aventador SV, the standard Aventador, and then the Aventador J. So we've got plenty of different Aventadors to choose from, though the SVJ is easily my favourite of the bunch. And then we've got finally a Pagani Zonda Cinque Roadster, which, yeah, it's a fantastic car, and as you can see, weighs easily the least of any of these cars here, and yet power wise it's actually fairly up towards the top. So yeah, I think we're getting the Pagani first, just to see what we're getting in for with all of these other cars. And you can see handling and braking is excellent, because it is essentially a track car for the road in a lot of ways. And yeah, it's got the Pride decals on it, because that's what this car was given to us by, via the gift box. So yeah, nice paint job, all for a good reason, and yeah, it's laid on top of a fantastic car. Easily one of my favourite Paganis, quite frankly. I wish we did get more of the kind of weird variants that the Pagani put out for the Zonda, because there were a huge number of them. But we have very few of them, unfortunately, but still, ones we do have are excellent, and yeah, this is one of those excellent ones. It's got that screamer of a V12 engine that they basically nicked from Mercedes. As you can see, it revs up to 7,000 RPM, which is pretty high revving for a V12. It sounds like it's revving even higher, how highly strung it is. It handles beautifully, although I'd probably say the SVJ up front handles a bit better, just because it's got rear wheel steering and all wheel drive to go in tandem with its rear wing. As this rear wheel drive only does get a little bit oversteery at times. The grip does seem to let loose here and there. And you add on to that the fact that it doesn't weigh very much, so it's not much weight pressing down into it when you're on slower speeds, then you are a little bit in trouble at times. Obviously it has plenty of weight added onto it when you're going quick, because of all the downforce it's got going on, but slower speeds, especially coming out of slow corners, you have to watch your throttle control, because yeah, you will slide out otherwise. Not that it's impossible to manage when it slides out, but you know, sliding around and spinning up your wheels does not you know, provide you with the fastest kind of, you know, fastest traction, fastest kind of handling, and the fastest speed when you want to get around a circuit as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's definitely something to watch out for. Like that, for instance. There's a Lamborghini behind us with its all-wheel drive, is just kept on the straight and narrow. I love that engine noise though in this car. Oh dear. Lamborghini getting in there. Yeah, I'm being a little bit cautious with this just because of the rear-wheel drive setup. And I'm very much conscious that it's got nearly 700 horsepower going for those rear wheels, which, granted, Ferrari has done a lot more than that since, but this is a much older car. So not quite the technological advantage of some cars here. But still, we get a first place position, not by a huge margin, and we did slightly lose the first place position on that lap there, but still, winning is winning. So yeah, Pagani's on the Cinque Road, so they're giving us our first win of this championship. Hopefully not the last, but let's nonetheless see what happens and get on to the next race. Right, so the Pagani there gave us a good win, so let's see what the Lamborghini can do with the SC20. So yeah, like I said, this has been added via the Italian automotive update, which had the Italian exotics car pack. This was part of that car pack. Not massively different to say the likes of the SVJ upon what it is pretty much based on. Obviously it's more of a looks kind of thing, more than, you know, increasing drivability or speed or anything like that. But still, let's see what it can do in comparison to the Pagani. As yes, this does have more power, it does have all-wheel drive, but it is also heavier. Like quite a considerable margin as well, about £800. So yeah, which is not a small amount whatsoever. But the Aventador SVJ is a fantastic car, so I feel even with the slight extra weight over that version of the Aventador, it's still going to be a pretty solid vehicle. As you can see, even higher revving than the Pagani. This is a lot more manageable than the Zonda was. Probably not going to be the car that would be fastest around the track. I guarantee the Zonda would be probably quicker. Especially since this does have its understeer issues. It does fly out of the corners when you want it to, so you've got no real worries about losing any traction. Straight line, despite all that extra weight, it's still no slouch. Does sound pretty great as well. So yeah, this is a one-off car, by the way, so you're never going to see this. Highly, highly unlikely to ever see it out on the open road. You can no doubt in an extremely rich place of the world. Can we catch the car we're based on? Fair bit of understeer there. They are actually struggling. And at the end of the day, we do have the same power as the Aventador SVJ, but we have more weight. So we are at a disadvantage. Well, to be fair, the SVJ did do that to me basically in the last race, so I'm going to tell you that. But yeah, that was a very, very close race. That SVJ is superb in terms of handling, especially given the size of the car and the weight of it as well. But yeah, as you can see, our lap time was still the best of the bunch. Oh no, the Italia Design Zero Uno in 7th place was actually better, and so was the whole bunch. It was everyone else below them. So surprisingly, it's the quickest of us in terms of the overall lap times. You know, bunched together that are the quicker, but the ones behind us are having a stonkingly great lap time. So yeah, that is a surprise. Maybe just because they weren't bunched up together, they were able to get those lap times in. But regardless, we are now 8 points ahead of the Aventador from 2012 and 12 points ahead of the Zonda Cinque Roadster. So let's see if we can make it 3 for 3 in the third and final race. So for this third and final race, I'm going to get in the car that is my favourite of the bunch here, and it is the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. So it has the same kind of braking as the SE20, but it has better handling, it has less weight, so even though the brakes are just as good, it has less momentum to deal with, so they are effectively slightly better. And yeah, the acceleration is great, and yeah, it still has the same level of power and torque from its amazing 6.5 litre V12 engine. So yeah, love this car, love the styling. It's just the culmination of many years of the Aventador just being, you know, improved year on year on year, and yeah, this is the best of the bunch as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully it won't let me down. A lot of the times when I do get my favourite car out to choose from, it ends up being the one that doesn't give us a win. So yeah, hopefully that's not the case with this one, especially since I love this so much. Yeah, like I said before, considering the size of it and the weight of it, as it is still quite a heavy car, even if it is lighter than the SE20, it just feels so much smaller and lighter than it actually is. That's because it gives you loads of confidence in its handling. Obviously helped by the all-wheel drive system, the rear wing, all the downforce that it's generating, the rear wheel steering, and the fact it's just a generally well sorted car. Even though, you know, it's hardly a new car anymore, it's probably one of my favourite Italian hypercars out there. Not typically a fan of hypercars in general. I usually just think they're initially exciting for a while, but then that excitement quite quickly wears off. But with this, that just is not the case. It's fun to drive, just as fun as it was when I first drove it on the Forza game. So yeah. Wheeling in the Centenario. Come on, you can beat it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go around the outside. Yeah, we've done it. He braked a little bit too much and a bit too early. Whereas the handling of this is more than capable of dealing with that corner at those speeds. So yeah, there we go. I'm glad my favourite car of the bunch has given us the third and final win. So yeah, a little bit more conclusive that one maybe than the previous ones. Yeah, we're just over a second ahead. But regardless, fantastic car, the SVJ, but more importantly, winning this championship, as we have done here, gives you 5 points towards a festival place, which gives you 5 points closer towards getting out of Bath at the beginning of this episode. So yeah, get out there and get that car. It is overall a good sports car. It's not my favourite sports car ever. I do think the engine sounds a little bit weak, but on the whole the handling is good and the acceleration is decent as well. So yeah, get out there and get it if you haven't already. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.